So the question is about bringing a dead body of a relative to be buried in Eretz Israel after he was buried after he passed away outside of Eretz Israel. So obviously there's many details that needs to be considered, but the first point that I want to make is that it is not an obligation. Okay? It is a possibility, and sometimes it is not recommended. So let's speak about when is it recommended to do and when not, but again, it is not an obligation. Even someone that have money, that he have the possibility to bring his dead relative to be buried in Eretz Israel, it's not an obligation. The obligation is that whoever passed away will have Kvurat Israel, that he will to make sure that as much possible that he will be buried according to the halacha. So this is an obligation to make an effort for that. When is it recommended to be buried in Eretz Israel? Some people they say it is about the spiritual level of the person. If he's a big righteous person, big Talmid Chacham, then bring him. If not, don't bring him. There is other people that they say, no, lechatchila everybody have to try to bring their relatives to be buried in Eretz Israel. I didn't see any source for that. What I understand is the recommendation is when he was alive, he was living in Eretz Israel, he was connected to Eretz Israel, he wanted to do Aliyah, he wanted to come to live in Eretz Israel, and then for whatever reason he passed away outside of Eretz Israel, so then you can bring him to be buried in Eretz Israel. But someone that all his life he was living outside of Eretz Israel, and maybe he wanted, but he didn't really plan to do Aliyah, to come to Eretz Israel, he didn't really plan to live here. He had his business, his family, this, that, outside of Eretz Israel. He arranged all his life outside of Eretz Israel. So that was his life. So then it's not recommended to bring his body to Eretz Israel. And I know a rabbi from New York that for a few years he was coming every year in his vacation. He was coming by himself to Eretz Israel to learn a few weeks in Eretz Israel. And I asked him why. One of the times that I saw him, he said, because it's important for me to be buried in Eretz Israel. So I want to strengthen my connection to Eretz Israel when I'm alive, that I will have the merit to be buried in Eretz Israel when I passed away. So he told me that he's trying every year to come for at least for a few weeks. He's renting a place, learning in whatever Bet Midrash in Yerushalayim, to have that experience of living in Eretz Israel. He cannot quit his job. That's his way to support his family outside of Eretz Israel. Fine, but his heart is in Eretz Israel. That's where he wants to be. Just it's not possible right now, but that's where he wants to be. So he wants to be buried in Eretz Israel. So for that purpose, he wants to strengthen his connection to Eretz Israel when he's still alive. This is the true understanding. So there's many almost endless possibilities of people that they lived here and they left here, how they left here, what was the reason that they left when they left Eretz Israel, or people that they lived in outside of Eretz Israel, and what was the reason that they were living there, and so on and so forth. There's like endless possibilities. But this is the principle. The principle is when someone was connected in his heart and his mind, and he was trying to get to Eretz Israel, so then it makes sense to bring him after he passed away. Otherwise, it's better not. But anyhow, it's not an obligation. It's a good thing to do, but it's not an obligation. When someone wants to do it, it makes sense, but it's not. It's a very, very big expense. It needs a lot of money to do that. So, yeah, it's important for people to know that it's not the first priority. I would say that when someone have the financial means that it's needed, so it's a big question if that's the right investment of the money. Maybe there's something else that is better for the elevation of the soul of the person. Okay, but that's another conversation. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen v'Amen.